Time doesn't exist.
Ah, good! The old I am 14 and I am deep level of discussion that is what we have come to expect from Sv3rige. I know you aren't supposed to pronounce the 3 and I don't care. Don't put numbers in your name if you don't want me to pronounce them, mate. But yeah, I have been keeping an eye on this guy for a while since he made this video asking his audience to give him some cheddar to buy a $2,000 to $3,000 camera that he totally needs to replace one that was stolen or lost or whatever. Even though the video that he made to say that was on a perfectly functional camera. And they actually gave him $4 goddamn grand. And would you believe it, only a few days later, he suddenly has his old one back. I know! I don't think that's extremely suspicious either.
Time doesn't exist in any way at all.
Right, so yeah, like I said, this is I am 14 and I am very deep shit. Everyone has had this idea at some point in their life. And they always think it's such a brilliant observation until you try to apply it to anything in a useful way. Like, what does saying time doesn't exist do? Nothing worthwhile, I'll tell you that much for free. Which I guess is why we're talking about it.
I made a video about existence many years ago, which I will link in the description.
Ooh, free content. I mean, I'm not looking now, because, you know, my 3 brain cells can only handle so much of you. But let's just say I am going to add you to the list. If you have anything for the list, please feel free to email it to me. Deets on my about page, because I do love it when people do my work for me.
But basically what it means is that there's no way to sense time with any of your senses.
For starters, we kinda do. The passage of time is something that we gauge internally, but even if we couldn't, so what? There's lots of things that we can't or at least aren't very good at sensing or tracking, but we build machines to do that for us. The one for time, I don't know if you've heard of it, but the fancy new invention called a clock. I know, it's amazing what those science guys can do these days. Next they'll be telling me they can record moving pictures to digital files or sounds and music as some sort of waveform.
Let's take the stupidity of movies such as Back to the Future as an example.
Oh, god damn it, really? You're taking the stupidity of a thing that is a made-up story, that knows it's a made-up story, and that in no way claims to represent reality, as an example of why your big brain a smart guy idea that no one else has ever had before is true. You are a remarkable individual. You know that, right, Mr. Sv3rige?
They enter man-made numbers, symbols, into a man-made time machine, which is supposed to bring them back to the past or to the future.
Right, but why would they use something that they didn't know? Man-made numbers and symbols are what humans have made in order to describe the things they are looking at. I know that you think that this is a really smart observation, but it actually proves just how ignorant you are and how you don't understand how a symbol someone creates to mean a thing means the thing. Just because humans made up the number 1 doesn't mean that 1 somehow doesn't really mean 1. Like how many brain cells you have. Or brain cell, I suppose.
Even though the past is your memory and the future is your imagination.
Not really, because we have these things called historical records that track the past, and we can quantify it and how long ago it happened, and that shit basically never changes. And time, passes in a way that can be measured. So while the future isn't 100% knowable, it is far from imagination. I mean, you can know when a predetermined event is gonna happen and when, to a relative degree, because time is a thing that we can know and judge.
Which means that it's all in your head.
I don't think there's anything in your head, mate. No past, no future, no present, no coherent thoughts, no brain, nothing. Just beetles. Crawling around, their movements making it look like you are talking and such, but no, it's just beetles.
We live in the exact same moment as Jesus, if you believe in him.
And yet, weirdly, if he was real, all that, exactly now ago, then where is he? You know, it's almost like some sort of thing has moved on and left Jesus behind somehow. Almost as if we are forward from that Tim Tiger. Yeah, from that tiger. You know, thinking about it, it probably ate him.
Or any other historic figure. I will get deeper into this.
Deeper, eh? I don't think you will, because you have the depth and complexity of a puddle of cold vomit, and about as much value and intelligence. So the idea that you are going to get deep on any subject seems unlikely at best.
But it's just so you get a grasp on the mentality of the viewers of these movies, because they have to believe in time in some way for them to be able to enjoy or even make any kind of sense out of these movies.
So, basically, you're telling us all that you didn't understand Back to the Future and didn't really like it. Damn, no wonder you're so pissed off all the time, because that movie's great. But you're just sat there like, but how can this be? They are going back in time, but that is already the time they are in, because linear time does not exist, and my hoog brain cannot even conceive of anything like that. And really, that's kind of a good point. You are literally saying that you are not even smart enough to entertain an idea that you don't believe. People, generally, don't believe in time travel, but still are able to enjoy and understand those movies. Do you ever wonder if everyone around you understands something? Maybe you're the one who's the big dumb? Food for thought.
Even though what they did by entering those numbers into the machine made just as much sense as putting a pigeon on the roof of the car, believing that that's what's gonna make them go back in time.
Holy shit. You are one of the thickest fuckers on the internet, dude. Time travel doesn't real. You get that, right? No one thinks that Hollywood zipping about the time stream crap. No one thinks it's a real thing that we can do. Now, I'm not going to get into relativity or any of the other more real sciencey time shit because, well, it's not useful for the purposes of this video. And quite frankly, what's the point? It's not like you would understand. But no, dude, in that film, they built a machine that can travel through linear time. It can because it's a film, a made-up story with whatever rules they want. Just because you don't get it doesn't mean that it's stupid and that anyone who enjoys it is dumb. It just means you're a bit of a miserable twat and I would hate to watch any movie with you because you would just sit there picking holes in things but without understanding them, so it would just be annoying gibberish coming out of your face.
Yeah. Every day the system that we live in confronts us with this belief called time.
Oh, it's the system giving us time. It's not the fact that things happen and then we can wait and have a different thing happen when we expect it to. That's the thing. I said earlier, this idea that time doesn't real sounds smart when you're a kid because it's like, woo, me, I'm the big brain. But as soon as you try to do anything with that information, it is less than useless. What can you predict with time not real? What can you do with it? That's right, you can look smart to idiots. So at least it has a purpose for you, I guess.
It's a form of mind control.
Okay, just putting this forward, but wouldn't it be good if your mind was controlled? Just a bit, so it didn't keep doing whatever the hell this thing is. I'm just saying, wouldn't your life be so much better if you didn't spend so much time doing a big stupid and instead not do that? I don't know, just an idea.
Your memories are all happening now.
But they aren't, because they aren't. That makes literally zero sense. Otherwise, I could stop myself from doing so much stupid shit. Can you imagine just the metric shit ton of just idiotic crap that you have pulled and regret in your life? If it's happening now, then I can stop my dumbass from doing it. But I can't do that because that nonsense happened in the past. And that's why your future self, who cringes at all the crap that you have done, hasn't come back to slap the dipshit right out of you. You're going to be so mad at yourself. I mean, I'm mad at me right now, and I haven't done half the garbage that you have. Jesus.
I get that it's hard to wrap your head around it, but what you see as the past are essentially actions and movement.
Ah, so what you're saying is that there were actions and movements that aren't now, They were the before 4 times. And then there's action and movements that you have yet to do, and they are after the now. Oh man, if only we had words that perfectly described all of those things. But those don't exist because I am far too smart to dictionary.
You may think about your grandparents who may not be around anymore.
No, I'm pretty sure my grandparents will never die, mostly just to spite me. All I want is to have a funeral, to have an excuse to drink. But no, that's just selfish and insane. Pfft, if they really loved me, they would just bury themselves alive and leave me all their money in whiskey. I'm joking, of course. I already drank all their whiskey.
Or a tree that you used to like, which was cut down, such as the stump which I'm sitting on right now.
That cannot be a stump of a tree. We all know that only mountains are tree stumps. That's a fact backed up by science. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you bought into the whole mountains used to be frigging massive trees things, only because anything that goes against established fact must be true, because that's the only way to be smart. You have to be a contrarian about absolutely goddamn everything.
But did time do any of that? No.
Did time cut down a tree or kill my grandparents? I'm pretty sure it didn't. A person probably cut down the tree. And when my grandparents do finally kick the bucket, I can only hope that it's in some awesome way with explosions and them jumping through the air firing machine guns. I think you'll agree that that's the way we all want our elderly relatives to go. Fuck that peacefully bullshit. That's for nerds.
Wind moves everything. There's bacterial movement happening which is beyond our understanding.
What? No? I mean, it depends on what exactly you mean, but we can totally look at and detect the movements of bacteria. Of course we can. I mean, not in any way that normal people would do, but if we couldn't, we wouldn't even know they exist. And honestly, I'm more impressed that you actually believe in them, instead of thinking that disease and what have you is caused by bad air, because you have the scientific understanding of a 17th century peasant, only slightly less knowledgeable.
Chemical reactions which make the body age, and so on.
I love the fact that you are sitting there describing certain things that happen over time and have basically shot yourself in the foot with no way to convey the movement of events in a linear fashion without saying time. So you just aren't going to say it. Like I said, this is so pointlessly stupid and just makes describing things harder than they need to be in an attempt to sound intelligent, when it actually makes you sound, well, let's just say about as smart as I think you actually are. Do with that what you will.
When you see a symbol and read it as 1985 and believe that it was an actual occurrence.
So do you literally not think that anything that happened in the past that has a date attached to it is a real thing? That's some next level conspiracy garbage. We have gone from time am fake to literally history am fake. Like, what do you even say to that? Where does history go from? Oh, I didn't see that happen, so that's fake. I guess only things in your field of experience get to be real. Just like a smart person would think, eh? Christ.
Or that it's a time that you can go back to, then you are mentally ill.
No one thinks that time travel is a thing they can do. Time being real does not make the process of travelling to a previous point in time a thing that you can definitely do. No one believes that. No one who matters, anyway. But your idea, the everything is literally happening at the same time thing, that would allow for the possibility of some form of time travel. But that's not how it works, because, well, that's just not how it works.
Your imagination has been corrupted to the point where you see cycles where there are none.
Jesus Christ, that was an abrupt transition. God damn it. Didn't get any decent editing software with that $3,000 worth of camera you definitely needed, I bet, did you? So, something about corrupted imaginations and cycles. I hope he means bicycles and he is being chased every day by a ghost push bike and he just has to say, bikes aren't real, bikes aren't real.
Because of calendars, clocks, and the media in general, the sun and the moon absolutely have a so-called cycle, but they don't have an actual structure, they just go on forever.
Oh my god, he doesn't understand how the sun and the moon work. Of course he doesn't know how the sun and the moon work. My kids know how they work, for Christ's sake. They've known it for years, but you just... I don't know, is it a refusal to understand, or are you just so profoundly lacking in intellect that you are incapable of understanding how literally anything works?
And they certainly don't magically create time. It's your mind that creates this happening, which you would call 1999, for example.
No, the sun and the moon don't create time. If something does, it's got nothing to do with them. But as far as we are aware, it's something that just kind of happens. But that's just it. It does happen. Otherwise, I wouldn't know when it's whiskey drinking time. AKA, all the time. Oh, I gotta go. I didn't realise what time it was. Whiskey time.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the...